Goodness gracious, sakes alive, y'all came back for another adventure. We are so glad y'all stopped back by. Today we are going to be visiting the Capitol building in Colonial Williamsburg, Virginia. This is a beautiful building. The Capitol was moved to Williamsburg after the State House in Jamestown experienced its third fire. Henry Carey was the contractor in charge of building the first Capitol building. Construction started in 1701 and was completed in 1705. This building is modeled after the one that Carey built. This is the third building on this site. The original building was built without chimneys and fireplaces to avoid fire. They wanted to lessen the risk of fire since they didn't have much luck in Jamestown avoiding fires. Also, candles and pipes were prohibited in the original building. This is the room where the delegating was done. In this time period, there was no party system like we have today. Men would get up and pace the floors back and forth discussing whatever issue was on the table. The committee heads sat at the front of the room around the big chair. You can see the seats along the wall where they would be seated. The speaker got the honor of sitting in the big chair that looks like a throne. They took a vote by secret ballots to determine who the speaker would be. During the time period depicted in this tour, Peyton Randolph was the speaker. Another important position was held by George Wythe, who sat at the head of the table in the middle of the room along with three clerks. One of the clerks was Thomas Everard. We have a video of his home. If you have not already seen it, you may want to check it out. The tour guide is great. She goes into detail about government in colonial Virginia along with the colony's contribution to the American Revolution. In this building, Patrick Henry delivered his speech against the Stamp Act on May 29, 1765, which led him to being accused of treason since they were still under British rule. This building was where Patrick Henry, George Washington, George Mason, Thomas Jefferson, and many others played their parts in the legislative wars that ended in the American Revolution. See all of the papers on the tables? Those are proposed laws. The head of the table makes the final decision on these laws. I made the mistake of coming into the room last because I was videoing in the hallway and did not realize by sitting at the head of the table, I would be the one the envelope would be passed to. If I agreed with what the paper stated in the envelope, it would stay on the table. And if I disagreed, it was thrown under the table. They literally threw these laws under the table if it was something they did not want to pass. So I got to throw this one under the table. Also back then, women would not have been a part of this process. And back then, showing up late usually meant you were the most important person in the room. In 1723, the secretary complained that the building was too damp, so chimneys were added for fireplaces to keep the building dry. 24 years later, the building burned down. In 1748, a vote was taken for reconstruction of the Capitol and was approved by 2 votes. The building was last used as the Capitol on December 24, 1779, and after that the Capitol moved to Richmond. The west wing was sold for its bricks and demolished in 1793. The east burned in 1832, and in 1881 the last above-ground traces of the Capitol were removed from the lot. In 1928, Colonial Williamsburg purchased the land and began reconstructing the Capitol of 1705 through 1747. Yearly, a naturalization ceremony is held in this building. What a better place for an immigrant to become a U.S. citizen than here in this building. This was our favorite tour of the day. We hope y'all enjoyed the brief overview, and if you are ever in Williamsburg, do not miss this one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter where we post updates and photos that you may not see in these videos. If you like this, please give us a thumbs up and feel free to leave a comment. And if you aren't subscribed, just click on the icon on the last page. I hope y'all have a great day, and until next time, safe travels.